Danny Rehberg, United States Congressman from the state of Montana.
Thank you very much. Okay, all right. Thank you. As I always like to do, I'm going to place my Constitution on the rostrum with me as I speak. And I say thank you, Speaker Milburn, and Mr. President, President Peterson. Addressing the Montana legislature is always a high honor for me, and also a bit of a homecoming. I look around the chamber, and I see a lot of my old friends and former colleagues. Your faces remind me of all the ways we have worked together to serve the people of Montana and make sure our state remains a great place to start a small business or to raise a big family. Of course, it's good to see a lot of new faces out there as well. Congratulations to all of you who have taken your seats in this legislature for the first time. Last November, people across Montana and across America spoke with a clear voice. Today, they speak through your voices. I know you will never forget what an honor it is to serve your state. On January 5th of this year, I took an oath of office myself once again. And as in this chamber, there were a lot of new faces as well. Like today, here, there was a man in Washington who was new to the title of Mr. Speaker, but who wore it very well. The oath I took was to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and to well and faithfully discharge the duties of my office. My purpose today is to share with you how I propose that the new Congress and this new legislature can work together effectively and live up to our oaths together. As you know, there are two basic visions of how the federal government should be in relationship with the states. And rarely in American history has the difference between those two visions been more obvious. One vision, paternalism, has been guiding the power brokers in Washington over the last 2 years. It's the idea that the federal government knows best. It's the idea that state legislators like you need to be told what to do. It's the idea that the American people just need to shut up and let the experts do their thing. I, for one, am glad that the American people did not shut up. And I'm glad they have rejected the insufferable arrogance that they saw coming out of Washington, D.C. The American people showed they believe in the second vision, which is called states' rights. It's the idea that the people are the experts and that the best government is self-government. It's the idea that the states created the federal government, not the other way around, and that states like Montana remain the best laboratories of democracy in the entire world. It's the idea that Washington has important responsibilities, but limited powers, and that when Washington tries to do too much, most of the time it screws things up. Like most Americans, I believe that states' rights is the right vision. Why? One reason is that our founders got a lot of things right. One of them, James Madison, wrote in the Federalist Paper that the powers delegated by the proposed Constitution to the federal government are few and defined. Those which are to remain to the state governments are numerous and indefinite. Another founder, Thomas Jefferson, wrote, the several states composing the United States of America are not united on the principle of unlimited submission to their general government. Madison and Jefferson were pretty smart guys, but I say, if you want to understand the wisdom of states' rights, you don't need to read about it in the history books. You can see it right here in the assembled representatives of the Montana legislature. As members of the Montana legislature, you represent the character and vitality of our great state. Some of you are job creators and running your own small businesses. Some of you are public school teachers and helping our children realize their full potential. Others work in healthcare, energy, and other fields where technology is creating opportunities that our parents never dreamed of. I see a few fellow parents in the audience. By the way, I see a few grandparents as well. All of you have one thing in common. Every single one of you is a citizen legislator. The taxes you raise, you will have to pay. The regulations you impose, you will have to comply with. You don't have to visit your constituents. You are your constituents, and your perspective will guide you to govern well. My job as your congressman is to defend the state's rights principles in Washington, D.C. That means focusing on the core responsibilities of the federal government. That means getting Washington off our backs and off the backs of people, as well as legislators like you in state capitals all over America. And that means ending federal management of the gray wolf population in Montana.